I just wanted to make this very short video just to show how to fit the clips on the boot lid seal. I looked on the internet, I couldn't really find much information. I figured out how the clip is meant to go, but I had a few difficulties getting the clips to clip onto the rubber properly. So let me show you the way I found worked the best. So the first thing I wanted to explain first is which way the actual seal goes. Now, it actually sits in that position sort of right there, goes all the way around. The way it sits in is, you can see that sort of angle, that angle there, that right angle sits into there. Now this little flap here, that needs to be facing upwards. So see how I've got it like that now? That, if you just follow me through, that sits in like that. So if you peeled off this side here, you'll see the flap facing outwards like that. So that's the direction that goes. Now with the clips, so that's pretty much how the clips come. Now just give me a second. I'm having issues with this camera trying to get it to focus, so I have to manually focus. So there are the clips. I'll just get that focused for you. Okay, and then you have to modify it slightly to make it grip the rubber, but I'll just show you how it's meant to fit on. So it's meant to, well, I'll show you on the very end, then it makes a bit more sense. See, the actual clip is longer than that little flap. That makes it hard. So it sort of sits in that position. That's how it needs to sit in there. There we go. But in order to make that clip stay on, because it needs to stay on there, I had to do some adjustments to it. So the first adjustment was just opening up the clip like that, and then use a pair of pliers to change the angle of that little pin there. So if I squash that down a bit, just making sure you're seeing what I am. So just squeeze on that end there just to change the angle of that, make that a bit flatter like that. Then you need to get the clip on the piece of rubber, and I'll just show you on this very edge because then it's easier for you to see. And then once it's there, use a pair of pliers, and effectively what you want to do is clamp the clip on this bit of rubber before it actually goes anywhere near the hole. So by changing the angle on the end there, that will allow it to grip the rubber a lot more. Okay, so now it's gripping the rubber, but that's not where we want to stop. If you squeeze the top and bottom, just to make sure it clamps in, and that little rubber point, squeeze that direction too, and we're pretty much there. So once the clip is on that piece of rubber nicely, it'll clamp. I just want to fix up the bottom bit, because see how the clip is pointing up now? That should be flat like that. So in order to fix that, you just need to use two pairs of pliers. So if I grip the bottom piece there, bend that top end up. Right, let's have a look now how it sits. That's a bit better, not perfect. Just need to adjust that a bit more. I might just try going like that. Okay, that's a bit better, and that's probably as good as it needs to be. So that's how it needs to go on. And then once it's in that sort of position, it'll fit in the hole. Getting them in the hole isn't a huge issue. Paint can be a bit of a problem sometimes, but that is how it needs to be fitted on. And then they stay in nicely. I'll just work my way around that one. Alright, so that's the boot seal, how it looks when it's fully fitted. Just one thing I'll mention out, you sort of start and finish from down the bottom here, and then that way if there's any water it makes its way down to the bottom. So don't start and finish up here, start and finish down the bottom. Alright, just one other issue too, it will be a bit tight, and this one, it is still a bit tight, and you have to sort of really push on it to get it to close. I'll have a play, like I had it closed, but I'll leave it shut for a while and then just see how it fixes up the seal, because it's all in the correct spot, but we'll just leave it sealed shut and then just see how it goes. Alright, thanks for watching my videos.